Vinfast will be the latest entrant into the Indian market, and we are at its home base here in Vietnam. With the two cars it will be launching in the Indian market, the VF6 and the VF7. So let's get into both of the cars one by one and try and see how they are to drive. The VF6 is the smaller of the two SUVs that Vinfast will be launching in India, and is similar in size to an SUV that all of us know very well, the Hyundai Creta. The VF6 is just shorter than the Creta but has a larger wheelbase, is broader but lower. Overall, the looks are of a crossover rather than an outright SUV. But then again, some may prefer the more rounded appearance of the VF6. It is a nice looking crossover, riding on large 18-inch wheels with the signature V up front formed by a light strip that is distinct both during the day and at night. It is also very prominent. And the same pattern is repeated at the rear as well, though the V at the rear is not as raked. There could have been more flair to the DRLs as well as the headlamps, but at least the VFs will carry the distinctive insignia of the brand, as well as the individual DRL patterns, that in the case of the VF6 are a couple of horizontal lines under the headlamp. In a day and age where electric vehicle designs are breaking the mold and are disruptive, the VF6 conforms. There are no sharp edges to the vehicle, just a fluid smoothness. The VF7 on the other hand is more angular, has sharper edges and a bit more flair with a pronounced sporty roof and minimalistic glasshouse on a very chunky body. The front V signature is more upright like in the rear, and both the tail lamp and the front DRLs have a lot more panache. In length, the VF7 is shorter than even the MG Hector and the Mahindra XUV 700, but is exactly the same width as the XUV 700, but not as tall. While both the VF6 and 7 are based on the same skateboard platform and are both designed in collaboration with the same Italian design house, they are distinctly different vehicles. The larger wheelbase of both the cars, as well as the fact that they are both built on a dedicated electric platform, means that there is a lot of space in the vehicle, both in terms of legroom and shoulder room. Even the VF6 feels spacious at the rear. The VF7 feels as if it's a car of a much higher class. And both the vehicles are loaded with tech to the gills. Conspicuous by its absence, though, is an instrument panel on both the VF6 and the VF7. But a state-of-the-art projection heads-up display takes the place of the instrument panel in both the vehicles. A large 12.9-inch infotainment display screen that also performs some of the functions of the IP takes center stage on the dashboards of both the 6 and the 7. That apart, both the vehicles have large boots, albeit with a puncture repair kit in place of a spare wheel. In India though, there may be a space saver or even a full-size spare, and that would reduce the boot space. All the bells and whistles that one associates with premium cars are there on both, as are all the ADAS features. There are even 7 airbags, and Vinfast engineering teams assure us that the cars will get a 5-star rating at Bharat NCAP. Both the cars also have rather large panoramic sunroof, but that's where the similarities end. The VF6, even though it is loaded to the gills with tech, feels Spartan and cheap. From the plastics to the convenience features, there's a touch of austerity that is not warranted with a car that has so much tech. Missing are go-to features like a wireless charger. The VF7 on the other hand has an upmarket feel with all the features that one can think of and then some more. The rear seats are very comfortable, as are the front seats. And one could really think of this as a premium upmarket car. But the rear is a little claustrophobic because the rear windows are rather small. And now we are driving the VF7. Yes, this is the more luxurious, bigger version of the two cars that Vinfast is launching in India. This one has 250 kilowatt motors, one on the front axle, one on the rear axle. The battery pack is the same, that is about 60 kilowatts, and this one feels really good to drive. These Vinfast cars, there is no instrument panel. Everything is controlled from the infotainment display. No buttons as well, except for the drive selection switches, and instead of the instrument panel you get a heads-up display standard. And this heads-up display is the projection type like you get in the premium cars like BMWs and Mercedes. While the VF6 could do with a sprucing up of the interiors and the addition of some India-specific features, especially the user-facing ones like wireless charging and a little bit of premiumness around the cabin, there's nothing that one can call the VF7 up on. Actually, both of them are well-rounded products, but they are just not disruptive, neither in design or styling like the Mahindra BEV and XEV ranges, nor are they offering something that is really out of the world. So whether Vinfast is able to make a success of them in India will finally depend on how quickly the company is able to build up its brand and what vehicles are priced at. The VF6 and the more premium and higher end VF7 need to be at a sweet spot where customers would not mind paying for them or paying the asking price for them. The brand actually might have a few other disruptions up its sleeve, like an astounding warranty, free charging, and a really good network of infrastructure that adds to the ownership of the car, the experience of the ownership of the car. At the end of the day, Vinfast should be able to have more than a few compelling answers to my question of why I, or for that matter anybody else, should buy a VF. Just having really good products is not good enough in this very competitive Indian market.